The man merely found a hidden cave. He was surprised to find riches that he could not spend in several lifetimes. He held up a handful of gold coins in disbelief, and let them fall from his fingers. The sound of metal on metal was like heavenly music. The corners of his mouth rose wildly. After a short period of ecstasy, the man suddenly began to cry, because this huge treasure meant that he had the capital for revenge. It turns out that 14 years ago, John was taken away from his engagement by a group of policemen, and they didn't go through any trial. John was put in jail on a trumped-up charge, where he spent 14 years in a dark and humiliating prison. In order to find out the truth about his imprisonment, he became the Count of Monte Cristo and wrote a letter to David. John said that he had purchased 2 large ships and 3 properties for David. He wanted David to meet him in Marseilles before the end of the month, and he was told to dress like a gentleman. He saw the pile of cash John had prepared for his trip to Marseille. David couldn't stop smiling, so he was soon dressed up and ready to go. He went to Marseilles to meet the Count of Monte Cristo. As soon as they sat down, David asked John where the money came from. John simply stated that he had inherited a sizable fortune. Suddenly the conversation took a serious turn. He told of his 14 years of unjust imprisonment, and in the first year of his incarceration, he was pronounced dead in a strange way. Due to John's special status, it was inconvenient to show his face, so he needed to hire David to help find out the truth. David was a man of his word. He then went to the police station and inquired, but the prosecutor who put John in jail had been promoted. He was no longer working here, and David couldn't read what was in the file, so John had to take the risk of stepping into the police station himself. When he got to the file room, he claimed to be a reporter for the Paris Daily News. He wanted to access the records of a political prisoner named John, but the old man knew exactly who he was talking about. He refused him on the grounds that the prisoner's records were confidential. When John heard this, he just blandly uttered the words, and said he knew their prosecutor. After the old man heard this sentence, his attitude immediately became better, because the man who had driven John into an endless abyss, he has now risen to become the crown prosecutor of Paris. The old man immediately handed over the file to John. The truth of 14 years was in front of his eyes. John couldn't hide the surging emotions in his heart. He quickly found an excuse to get rid of the old man. Then he couldn't wait to open the file.